Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we will create a text element which will help the user to get to know how many bullets they have left. So, the first thing which we'll do, as I've said in the previous video, that we'll create a UI element called text, and I will name it as ammo text. Now we can see a lot of properties, they are not much. So I'll quickly go through what are the most important things which you might require. First one is the most important one is this anchor preset. So what it is used for is we can align the text or the anchors of the text. So there are anchors for this text. You may not be able to see the text. Yes, we can't see the text, but there would be a few arrows. If you can see it, you will see 4 arrows over here. I cannot see it, so I may not be able to show you, but you will see 4 arrows. So it would get adjusted with this with by using anchor presets. So what we need to do is just hold on Alt. So you'll see mark difference here, which says over here is also set position. So what does this mean is we can set the position of this text or the anchors of the text by holding on Alt, and Shift is also set the pivot. Pivot means the rotational point, or it is something like an axis of the text where we can rotate the text. So we will hold on both of them and you would see now the dots appear. What this dots mean is that the text would be placed over there. So I will place it right in the bottom left corner, and I will leave Alt and Shift, so the text would be aligned over there. Position X and position Y simply means where we'll put the text. So on the X axis we will put it on -48, and you can use these arrows as well to move the text. And on the y-axis I will put it at -37. Yes, we can't see it, but once I will increase the size of the text box, then we'll be able to see the text. On the Z we won't require it because it won't make any difference while using the Z element. In the width we will put it at 320, so the width would be the width of the text box, and the height would be 120. We can still cannot see the text, but as we come over here we'll see the text. So I've set the width of the text box and the height, so it will just specify how much text we can see in that box. Pivot, we can adjust the pivot point so it can rotate on a different axis, but I don't want to do anything here. Rotation, I don't want to rotate anything, so you can see here I can rotate some. It's getting rotated, so I'll just put it over here so that you can see. So it will get rotated on the x-axis and also on the y-axis. You may require it if you want to, even in the z-axis. So it looks good, but I don't want this. Simple standard text. And the scale would be how much bigger it should be. So we can scale the size over here. So the text box would get bigger, and even the text, both of them. Here it may not be shown that it's getting bigger, but because the scale will not show any effect over here, but it will actually show effect even though we cannot see it. So it's better to keep it at 111 and set all the position and the width and height and the size of the text here. So it's better to keep it at 111 and all the axes. The text what we want to write is ammo 10 out of 10. So We can write whatever we want over here, but here I just want to write ammo 10 out of 10. The font would be Arial because this is the only font which we have. You can use the other fonts as well. The font style I want it to be at normal. You can put it at bold and italic, some bold and italic. The font size I want it to be at 32. So it's quite meaningful what it means to say. So font style is that how we want the text to be, and the font size means that how big we want the text. Line spacing means the spacing between two lines vertically. So if I have one more line over here, so this is one, this one which we have over, this is one unit, but we don't require that as well. Rich text means it's better to keep it at rich text. I think it looks better sometimes while using rich text. The alignment would be at center and center on both of them, horizontally and vertically. So this center and this is in the middle. So now we can see the text clearly. Align by geometry I don't require, so it's by the geometry which we are using. It would get aligned by that way, but we don't want to do that. Horizontal overflow, so that just means that if the text goes out of that text box, then it would get wrapped to the next line. So even that is not required, but it's useful if you are putting up a long description about something. You can put up wrap or overflow. Overflow just means that it would just go on. It would be like independent of the width of the text box, so that is overflow, but we normally use wrap. In some cases you might use overflow. The vertical overflow is in the lines, the number of lines you are using. So if you are using truncate, so that simply means, so here I have used only one line, but I have used two lines, but I can only see one line of the text. So truncate just means that you can only see limited amount of text, or the amount of text in the text box we have specified over here. So if I increase the height, I would be able to see much of the text. So that's the reason we use truncate. And again, there's an overflow option for this as well. So it would go out of the text box. The text would go out of the text box. Best fit would recommend the font size and all for our text, but as this is going a little bit outside, I don't want to use best fit. Then we have the color, most important. We can put up any color, so I wanted to put it at white. Material, we can use our own materials, so we can use the collectible material, but because we have some other elements to our material as well, we can't use the material. So I will put it at none. So this is how you use the text in the inspector, how you can set the properties in the inspector. So now we will modify the text, or we'll change the text based on the number of bullets we have shot. So for that, we'll go to the player script, and in the player script we may not require to write much. So I'll zoom in, Control Shift Plus or Command Shift Plus on Mac. We are going to write using Unity engine.ui. So we will be using this package so that we can use the text element or the buttons and all, but for now we want to use text. So we will assign a variable called public text ammo text. Now if I'm not using this, it would give me an error over here that there's nothing called text or type of namespace name text could not be found. Are you missing Unity engine.ui using the directive? So we have to use this, or the other way around is unity engine.ui.text. So if you write it this way also, it would be fine. So the error would go away. Oh, I misspelled it. Engine. So the error would be gone. So warnings, it does happen sometimes. So you can use either way, but it is preferable to use this way because you have to mention this whole unity engine.ui every time you use this text element. So not preferable, but it would keep it short and simple. So only once you can declare it over here. In the start function, we will write ammo text. So this is the text element which we have created in Unity. Dot text. So dot text just means we are accessing this text element, this text property or component, and over there in double quotes we have to write. So whatever you write in this text in the script, you have to put it at double quotes, or else it would give you an error. I'll put a space and I'll put a plus sign, and I would write ammo plus, and I'll explain you what this plus means. So this is the line. So what this means is this text, ammo 10 out of 10, this text, I want to write it as ammo colon space. This plus would join this number which is 10 in the beginning, in the start, or it is in the beginning. It would join this number with the text, and it would join this as well. So you use plus to join strings, or strings means characters, so multi characters which you can use. So you can join them this way. So that's why I'm putting a plus sign. Now I'll play the game. Now you'll see a bit of a problem which we will be using. Oh, object reference not set. So what I've missed is in the player, click on the player object. In this ammo text, we will put our text over here, ammo text. So I'll just save scenes and save project. So if I play the game, so ammo is set, but if I hit the bullet, there's no change over here, even though I have finished all of my 10 bullets. And the reason is we have not changed the text again after shooting the bullet. So copy this line which we have written and paste it under ammo minus minus. So what will this do is, when the ammo decreases, we will change the text. So it's very important to change the text if you have changed the variable which you are using in the text, because then it will not get updated every time. So you have to update it yourself by writing a line over here. So now if I play the game, so when I shoot the bullet, it would decrease to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and after getting to 0, I cannot shoot the bullet, and that's it. So it's very easy to use the UI element with scripts in Unity. It's very straightforward. And what's the main technique in scripts is you have to access this components based on what you want to do through scripts. So you just have to use this dot over here. That's the main trick in writing scripts in Unity. So I wanted to use this text, so that's why I've written text over here. And then if I wanted to access the player position, so I've used transform.position over here, and if I wanted the y element of it, I've used transform position y. So that's the simple trick about writing scripts in Unity. So we need to access all these components. If you want to access all these components, you have to just put a dot and whatever you want to write. So that's the main trick. So that's how you can change the text and put up text in Unity. And in the next video we will be using animations so that we will have an obstacle which would get increased in size, which I've showed in the previous video. So it would be fun. So please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Until then, bye.